Hello and welcome to today's twin flame reading for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine and the current union energy going on for this new moon in Leo. So yeah, the new moon, kind of as it is called, new is like new beginnings. And Leo very much has to do with creativity and shining your light. I can speak personally to just like kind of suddenly really having sort of a impulsive drive to finish, a specific kind of creative project that I didn't really know my next step, but I got a lot cleared there, and so maybe that's for you too. Like if there's just something that is life purpose related and you're feeling creative, know that that's also very good for your overall union, for everything in your life, for calling in more abundance. And I was reading a tarot card earlier. I don't remember which card it was, but the message I really liked is, don't forget that to not just like count the money that you're making, whether that is to your standard right now, above your standard, or below your standard of what you would like to be receiving. Remember to also take into account like what it is that you're actually doing, and like what you're really like giving and creating, and seeing the true, recognizing the value in that and how that translates, in the long run, like the investment that you're making. So I just encourage you to pay attention to that, and from that place to put forth, a little extra energy into your creative projects. I think it feels really good to clear those creative blocks always, but especially, with the Leo new moon, could be a great time, and it's kind of a more inward energy at the same time too. So we have both, because Leo is very bright and outward, and creative and wants to be seen, but the new moon is very much about like doing something more inwardly. So just see how that all comes together for you, and these cards may help. So let's get started with that. So we have the Moonology deck again. I think I used it yesterday, but for the new moon it just feels very appropriate. So anyways, that's by Yasmin Boland. And then I have the Crystal Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. Yeah, so, okay, so we're going to start with the Divine Masculine, the DM. Luck is on your side. Okay, cool. Well, new moon in Sagittarius. We do have a new moon card here, not the same sign as the actual new moon. But it's really pretty self-explanatory. It's a very nice message for the Divine Masculine, and it's just some nice encouragement. I actually said good luck to someone earlier, and I was like, that felt good. I haven't really used that expression in a while. Like, I don't really think of luck as a thing. It's like it's about your relationship, to me, with Source and the divine, and so there's nothing really like, so to speak, lucky, that happens to you. It's all in divine order, but at the same time, like, this is an expression, and it is an expression of love from the universe, right? Like, luck is on your side, and we all can relate to that. I think that luck is something that's a little more universally accepted as a thing, because some people have a damaged relationship that they need to repair in their own way and in their own course of action and time and all of that with the divine, with Source, with God. So it's really nice to relate to people sometimes from this place of what is lucky in your life, right? Like, what feels really good and juicy, and what are you thankful for and grateful for? And so all those things are really like, that feeling, that good feeling is on your side right now for the Divine Masculine. so yeah, just you can really use that too to go forth with whatever it is that you're working on. And maybe it's something, you know, you're gonna want to showcase in some way, whether it's just to one person or to more people. But I think that could go for both. We'll see what the Divine Feminine's card is, but I think that could go for both, is creating something that's going to be shown. So prosperity lies ahead. New Moon in Taurus. Well, we have 2 New Moon cards, so this is a very more grounded card. Because it's Taurus, and you know, look at all that. The muscular animal is very like grounded to the earth. So yeah, it's just, to me, like kind of like buckle down, keep going. You know, you've got this. And so it is an encouragement to keep on going towards that feeling of prosperity I was speaking to, and to really like trust yourself there, to trust what you feel. And you may be getting clear at this time as well as to what no longer serves you in your life purpose and is vibing out or has vibed out. And that's going to actually really help you with calling in more prosperity in those places where you may have been holding on to certain ideas of how you needed to live your life. And this could also speak to going deeper with divine relationships too. And so anywhere that you've been doing inner work, and maybe outer too, about like placing healthy boundaries with people, and at the same time cultivating those relationships which do serve you, even if it's in a small way, even if it's with an emoji on Facebook, but it's just, you know, a connection with someone that you know, you're valuing in that moment. Like all of those things matter, especially when you're doing them with that intention, you know, of just having a one divine relationship, you know, with the universe. And so your twin flame really fits perfectly into that equation, right? And like meets you right where you live within, and is your divine counterpart. So it's also speaking to that kind of prosperity lies ahead too, when you're really choosing to let go of what it is you don't need here and let new beginnings in. So again, both these cards being new moon cards, you know, and the new moon, we're really feeling that newness all around, lots of newness. So let's go to the middle cards. I put this card on top, so I guess we'll go with it first. Control issues. Yellow jasper. Utilize your God-given strength and power instead of fearing that others may try to control you. Yeah, so pretty like straightforward, and it's not the most, like, this is a more disciplinary card in this deck, because this deck overall is a very like feel-good kind of deck, and which is great. But yeah, so it does kind of like give you the opportunity here again to differentiate, like, and release control on a deeper level of what is no longer serving you. And this is going to allow that prosperity and luck, you know, kind of basically the same thing, right? More into your life and to fully manifest. Of course, you can't control where prosperity and how it comes in. Sometimes it's pretty obvious where and how something is coming from at some point. Someone's made a payment and that you're going to receive that. Okay, like fairly straightforward, but there's bigger ways to see this. And there's also maybe you're expecting that over here, but maybe over here instead you get handed something really beautiful and divine, between you and your twin flame, or in another relationship in your life that is meaningful. Because just remember like how supportive healthy relationships are in your life, healthy friendships and coworkers, people that even just share your interests, where there's just, again, like you don't necessarily, need someone to be your best friend. in order to just really enjoy their company or have a genuine connection over something. And as long as there is as long as there's unconditional love there, that's all it takes. And so anything that would get in the way of that, you really want to, of course, release. And it also speaks to your life purpose, perhaps. And like if you're feeling like you have to do something, to really going deeper there and seeing, like, where's my power here? Like, what am I really being called to do? And the other side of that is also your union. So really explore what this card is meaning to you at this time, especially during this new moon, again, like with that more like introspective energy. And apply it to the creative projects that you're wanting to get done too. Like, do you have a block there, and is the block coming from like, something someone said in your childhood, like, no, you need to only use the cheap colored pencils, when, just as an example, right? So, it's safe to like love yourself fully there and know that you're worthy of all of the good. And, that doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to give yourself like something that else besides what you have right now, but it's really about giving fully to yourself with where you're at right now and knowing that that's enough and trusting that that's enough. And that, sometimes you just have to really allow divine guidance into that place to know like what that means for you at this time. So, cool. Let's move on to the last card. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. So this is interesting because, it's the new moon in Leo, and we're ending this reading on the full moon in Leo. So, it does kind of tie into this card in that we're letting go of control here, and so we're really like not allowing something that doesn't feel good to get in the way, which is kind of like your own self, your kind of the self that it is that you need to love. So it's safe to fully love yourself in those places, and don't be afraid to be wrong is what I'm getting from this card, because it's not that you are wrong, but it's just that like you need to let go of having to be right about something. And sometimes that's how you do become right about it, or maybe you are going to be given new information in that area, but that's not the point. The point isn't like being right or wrong. The point is just the truth, and the point is to be truly like creative with God, again, like co-creating with God. And you can really only do that from a place of unconditional love for yourself and radical non-attachment. So you don't need to just like do it on your own, right? Like it's safe to call in your support, even if you don't know what that means, other than just like calling it in right now and saying like, I choose to call in my divine support and I choose to receive it. And then you can just surrender to how that unfolds for you. And also, the last thing I want to say about this card that is coming to me is that don't think that your creative endeavors and like what you're giving isn't enough, and that can cause you to like always try to need to do something better and perfectionism. Or it might mean that you don't, get creative at all, because you know that what you should be able to create is better than what you're gonna make tonight, with your Crayola crayons, for instance. And that's not it. Like maybe when you actually decide to love yourself there and to go ahead and say like, hey, yes, I am gonna make this, I'm gonna make something. And God might give you a different idea, like actually use a pen here and just, draw the outlines, and then why don't you go to the store tomorrow and get some better things than your Crayola crayons. Or it might be, draw, just use those crayons and color in this mandala coloring book, right? Like, it doesn't matter what the thing is for you, but it does matter that it's what feels good and what feels right to you at the very core of your being. And it may not be about, necessarily drawing or something, but those are examples I like to use as an artist, creative person, and background in art education. I mean, I still like to, I teach art in different ways, right? So, well, that's a card for me too, right? Like, to give from where I'm at and what it is that feels good to me right now, in terms of sharing my creativity with others and like how to do that. So that's like what it means for me personally, and so hopefully that helps you in some way, like with how it resonates personally for you. So remember that going in these good directions is paying off, and remember to release control and not let pride get in the way, and shine your light. Leo's so much about shining your light. And let it guide you, right? Like, let your light shine on what's around you so that you can see your path to more clearly ahead, and what it is that you're gonna do right now with this flowing energy. So yes, that's gonna conclude today's reading. What a nice reading it has been. Really enjoyed it. And check out the links below and subscribe, like the video if you liked it. I will see you again very soon. Happy new moon, and happy getting creative too. All right, love you. Bye.